Hey guys, I'm Robert. About a year ago, I shared AI Memos, an automation I built to record quick voice notes from my watch, have them transcribed, and saved remotely into my note-taking app. The system actually continues to work great, and I know many of you still use it today. Originally, this was designed for users to plug in their own API keys with all processing happening via OpenAI API. But since I have Superwhisper, which includes unlimited AI processing, and Macrowhisper for hooking up automations, I adapted the whole thing to work with those instead. No API keys involved, and you get more flexibility with Superwhisper modes and the multiple Macrowhisper automation possibilities. Let me do a quick demo of what we're setting up today. This is me doing a quick test. If you are ever in a rush and need to capture a thought without distractions, this automation is just one tap to start recording, one tap to stop, and then you can keep doing whatever you were doing, trusting that your system will handle the rest and save it as a note. Done. I don't have to worry about it. Later, I will open Bear and the note will be waiting for me. Here's the full chain of what's happening. I record on the watch with just press record, the file syncs through iCloud, Keyboard Maestro detects it on my computer, Superwhisper transcribes it, Macrowhisper receives the result, triggers a shortcut, and the shortcut saves the note. You will need all 5 tools for this to work. By the way, it doesn't have to be a note. I use the same setup mostly to send AI requests to alter from my watch, similar to what I showed in my most recent video. The note workflow is just easier to demonstrate, but you could send your transcription to any URL, shortcut, or script in your Mac. If your computer has Wake for network access enabled, the automation triggers as soon as iCloud syncs. Before I get into the setup, I want to mention something. For the last several months, macOS had a bug related to CLI apps with accessibility permissions. That meant Macrowhisper was tricky to install for new users. Apple finally fixed it in macOS 26.3, so if you haven't updated yet, now is a good time. And if you were holding off on trying Macrowhisper because of this issue, you are good to go now as long as you update your system. I have also pushed some updates with new features that I hope to cover in future videos. I'll be moving fast here, but I will give you the main Keyboard Maestro macro and a step-by-step guide in the description, so you can go at your own pace. After you import the macro, right-click and enable it. Notice it's watching the Just Press Record folder. This is important for everything to work. If it's not pointing to the right folder, select it here. Now open Finder, go to your iCloud drive, and find that Just Press Record folder being observed by Keyboard Maestro. Right-click it and select Keep Downloaded. This is also important to prevent issues with the transcription. Then I'll go inside the Shortcuts folder. Back in the macro, you will see a block labeled History folder name. It defaults to SW Remote, but you can change it to anything. You need to run the macro once during setup. I'll do that right now. And this creates the History folder inside the Shortcuts folder. Once created, right-click it and once more select Keep Downloaded to avoid sync issues. Here's why this is important. After Keyboard Maestro sends the file to Superwhisper for transcription, it has to move that file and its directory out of the Just Press Record folder. If it didn't, the macro wouldn't trigger again when a new audio file shows up. It's a limitation of how Keyboard Maestro's folder watching works, but this is necessary to keep everything running. Having the history folder in the shortcuts folder is also useful if you're away from your computer and something doesn't work as expected. You can always go to the shortcuts folder on your phone and reprocess the file with Superwhisper for iOS. Let's go into the Modes tab in Superwhisper settings. I will be creating a custom mode. The name here doesn't matter. I'll call it the note for now. Here I instruct the AI to clean up my transcription, give it a note title, and also include a tag that I use for organization over in Bear. I will share this prompt with you in the description so you can customize it if needed. After creating your mode, you need to grab its key. Go to Documents, Superwhisper, Modes, and look for the JSON file of the mode you just created. Copy the key you find in there and paste it into the Keyboard Maestro macro in the action block that says Superwhisper Mode Key. That tells the macro which Superwhisper mode to use for transcription of the audio file. Now let's look at the Macrowhisper side of things. I will show everything with a clean installation and a new configuration file. Open Terminal and type Macrowhisper reveal config. Here's our JSON file in Finder. I will open it and now I will insert a shortcut action. Back in Terminal, type Macrowhisper add shortcut SW note. The name of the action here is important because it needs to be the same name of the actual shortcut we will create later. The only thing we're sending to this shortcut is the result from Superwhisper, so I will insert the correct placeholder, SWResult. Go back to the Keyboard Maestro macro, expand the block labeled Macrowhisper action to execute, and since I named mine SWNode, I insert that here. If you installed Macrowhisper via the script and not Homebrew, you will also need to change the Macrowhisper path. Let's go to the Shortcuts app. Create a new shortcut and give it the same name as your Macrowhisper action. Again, in my case, that's SWNode. This is where you send the transcription result to whatever application you need. For my case, I will add the bare action to create a new note. I will remove the default content and insert my shortcut input. My title is already included in the content, so I don't need to set it at this level. Same applies to tags. Finally, I want to open the created note. All right, this is all set up. I will open the Just Press Record folder and my history folder inside shortcuts so we can see side by side what happens. By the way, this automation switches to the Superwhisper mode you set in the macro, so you don't have to worry about that beforehand. Let me do one more test with Just Press Record. This is just a quick test to trigger the automation that will save my transcribed voice inside a note. Now look at Finder. It will take a few seconds, but there's a file appearing in Just Press Record. Keyboard Maestro will detect it and send it to Superwhisper. Superwhisper does the processing, Macrowhisper detects the result, and saves it to Bear via shortcuts. Some seconds later, Keyboard Maestro moves the original file and its folder into the history folder. To be honest, Superwhisper's app for iPhone is great already, and I know soon we may also be able to do some automations with it, but I still find this method fantastic to get something out of my mind quickly and keep going without distractions. And like I said, if you hook this to something like Alter, which is more of an assistant, what you can do expands even more. Now that the macOS bug is fixed, I am planning to share more videos about Macrowhisper and how I use it. I would love to hear in the comments if you have found any interesting workflows with the app, or if there's anything in particular that's too difficult to grasp. There are so many possibilities here, and I am trying to come up with ideas to help you see everything with more practical examples. Remember, you can always sign up for my newsletter if you want more updates on what I'm up to. I'll see you in the next one.